Hey young people, welcome back. This is week 2, day 2, Latin 2. Yesterday you learned about these things called special place clues. In your notes, you jotted down that there are 3 classes and then 2 specific types of words that we use special place clues with. Categories that take special place clues are small islands, cities, and towns. Specific words that we use special place clues with are the words domus for house and rus for countryside. What's so special about special place clues? Basically, if a word is a small island, city, town, or it's the specific word domus or rus, then you don't put a preposition with it when you're indicating motion or the place where something is happening. So if you wanted to say, from Rome, you just say Roma in the ablative. You would never say a Roma. You omit the preposition once you know that it's a special place clue word. To emphasize that today, I made a special assignment. It's got a map on one page, and then it has a chart with a list of proper noun places going down. We're going to go through the first 3 of these because it's a little bit complicated at first, and then you kind of get the drift of it. In the instructions, it says use the map to determine the type of each place. So for the first one, it says Sicilia, Siciliae feminine. Find Sicilia on the map. And if you look at the map of the Mediterranean, there you go, Sicilia, right there, which of course is modern-day Sicily. All right, think about what it looks like on the map. What type of place is it? Is it a body of water, city, large island, province, territory, small island, or town? Well, in this case, it would be a large island. So click that. Then it has a column where it says place clue word. Is it one of the special place clue words we learned about yesterday? Is it a small island, city, town, or the words domus or rus? Well, it's a large island, so that wouldn't fit in the category of small island or city or town, obviously. So leave that unchecked. For the to column, all you're doing is indicating how would you say motion to that place. So if you wanted to say we're sailing to Sicily, how would you do it? Well, up until this chapter, you would say ad, which is the word that means to, and then Siciliam in the accusative case. If you're not sure about what accusatives and ablatives, and talk about genitives even later, what they look like, use your blue sheet or go on to Wiktionary.com, Wiktionary.org, and look at the paradigm charts I have. All right, how did we indicate motion from? Well, the word for from is a or ab. In this case, we would just use a because Sicilia starts with a consonant, and then put Sicilia in the ablative. It's going to look exactly the same. This should be a long A here, but I'm not going to be picky at all about macrons, even for myself. If you want to go into the character map and start typing codes, that's fine, but it's all right. A Sicilia would be from Sicily. All right, what if you wanted to say in Sicily? Well, in would be the same whether it's in Latin or English, and in takes an ablative by rule, so it'd be in Sicilia. Now, as a last step, remember the special place clues. These are words that by rule, they never have a preposition. Sicilia is a large island. We didn't check place clue word, so it keeps all of its prepositions. It keeps the odd and the a and the in. Look at the next one. Ithaca, Ithacae feminine. If you look at the map here, oh, there it is. Ithaca. Hopefully that sounds familiar. You remember the Odyssey story from Latin 1. This is Odysseus' homeland. And when you go to look at Ithaca, it's not even this right here at the tip of the pointer. It's a tiny little island off the coast of this island. And it's so small they have to draw a little line, and it has to be over here in the middle of Greece. So for Ithaca, what type is it going to be? Body of water, city, large island, province, territory, small island, town. Well, I'm intentionally doing this one as part of the example. I reordered these so we could talk about them. Ithaca would definitely be in the small island category in my mind. I even looked up the land area. Sicily is 10,000 square miles. Ithaca is 45 square miles. 10,000 versus 45. So there's a couple orders of magnitude difference between the two if you're not sure about the difference between a large island and a small island. You might ask also, how do you tell the difference between a small island and large island? Is there a certain threshold for square miles that all of a sudden a small island becomes a large island? We have something really similar in English. There's a grammatical construction. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to give it away. But when we speak in English, we speak about small islands and large islands differently, especially when we're talking about things taking place in regard to an island. If you can tell me how you can tell the difference between a small island and large island in English, okay, when grammatically do we differentiate between a small island and a large island in English? Tell me that in the comments. The first person to do so gets extra credit. When do we differentiate between small islands and large islands in English grammar? All right, look at the next column. Place clue word. Well, yesterday we learned small islands, cities, towns are special place clue words, so click the box. And as you go through this, how would you say to Ithaca? Well, ad Ithacam, up until you got to this chapter, was how you would say it. From Ithaca would be ab Ithaca. It should be a long A, but don't worry about it. And something happens in or on Ithaca, it would be in Ithaca. But, I checked off the place clue word box. This is a special word, so it doesn't ever get a preposition. Almost never. Okay, like if you said ab Ithaca to a real Roman, it would sound totally bizarre to their ear. It wouldn't make any sense to them. It would sound like you didn't know Latin. But you could say ad Ithacam, but it means something a little bit different. It would translate as near Ithaca, not to Ithaca. If you wanted to say to Ithaca, cut out the preposition. It's just Ithacam. For the in, this is, if it's a special place clue word, a small island, city, town, domus, or rus, you don't put in front of it anymore. But also, you don't just leave it in whatever case it was, like you do with place to or place from. You have to make it into the locative. Look at your notes from yesterday. You have two options for the locative. If it's a first or second declension singular noun, then the locative looks like the genitive. Look at Ithaca. Ithaca, Ithacae, feminine. This is why I put the dictionary entry here. It is first declension, and it's singular. So the locative would simply be the genitive. So it would be Ithacae with an AE at the end. Ithacae would translate as in Ithaca. All right, for Syracusae, Syracusarum, feminine plural, look at the map. There it is, Syracusae. This is Syracuse. Remember we talked about the city of Syracuse when we were talking about the that story with the brothers in Latin 1. So I'm going to flag it as city. Okay, is a city a small island, city, or town? Yes, it definitely is. So when we type each one of these, make sure there should be no prepositions. So it's not going to be ad Syracusam. It's just going to be, put it in the accusative. Syracusam. But there's a problem with this. Syracusae, Syracusarum, like a lot of cities, is always plural. That's why in the dictionary entry it says feminine plural. So it's not going to be Syracusam. Look at your blue sheet. I-am-is, as, is. It would be Syracusas. It has to be accusative and it has to be plural in its first declension. For from, it's not going to be a Syracuses. It's just going to be Syracuses. And why does it have an is at the end? Because that is the ablative plural first declension ending. Is. I am, I rm, is, as, is. For the locative, we know it's going to be locative because you want to say in, and it's a special place word, then you form the locative. If it is a first or second declension singular noun, it looks like the genitive. The problem with this is it's first declension, but it's not singular. So go to the other locative rule. Everything else, the locative looks like the ablative. We already put the ablative down. That's also how you form place from. So it'll be Syracuses. A weird technicality about this. This, in a sentence, Syracuses would be ablative, as opposed to over here it would be locative. You could look at the sentence, and a lot of times you could tell from context. We're going to look at examples of that and try to figure out whether something is ablative place from or whether it's locative. But if it's just a word all by itself, you can't tell. From Syracuse and in Syracuse would look identical. Complete these through the rest of them. Be sure to pay attention. Remember, even if it's first declension, as soon as it's plural, the locative is going to look like the ablative, not like the genitive anymore. And if you have that place clue word box, it's a small island, city, or town. As soon as you check off this box to indicate that it's a special place clue, it's a small island, city, or town, there should be no prepositions anywhere in the line. If you're putting prepositions in, you've done something wrong. This lesson is a little bit more confusing, so please don't hesitate to send me a message if you have any questions, and I'll get back to you. Also, don't forget, first person to tell me how do we differentiate between small and large islands in English grammar, be the first to put it in the comments below, and you'll get extra credit. Thank you.